Hey guys, if you want to see how building this ended up with this, then stay tuned. Seriously? Hey you guys, welcome to this vlog with me, 6 Plus Stevo. Yeah, by the intro there, you can see that I have managed to injure myself quite severely recently. So, where does this story begin? Well, Kill Team's been released. I ordered the set, it looks awesome. Stay tuned because very soon on the channel I will be doing a review on it. I don't want to do like an unboxing type review. There's hundreds of those out there, and if you want to see them, there's plenty other channels doing that. I want to actually get some games in. I've been building the terrain and everything, and I want to have a good grasp on it before I really give you my proper thoughts and review on the product. But anyway, back to the story. So yeah, I got Kill Team. Awesome looking set, can't wait to get playing it. The first thing I wanted to do is get building the terrain. Got cracking with that straight away. It's awesome looking terrain. This is just one piece. I have built it all now. Good job too, because it's going to be very hard to do with one hand. But how did building that end up with this? Well, when I'm building my stuff, I've got my clippers, clip it off the sprue. I've got the GW mold line remover, which is an awesome tool. A bit pricey for what it is, but it's just fantastic. It's a really good, safe way to remove mold lines easily. The only slight downside to it is getting into some of them really tight nooks and crannies where the blade bit of it is a bit thick, so it's a bit hard to get in on those points. But yeah, generally a really good tool. However, I also sometimes use, for those bits I was just talking about, a Stanley blade. These are just one of the cheap Stanley blades I get from Poundland. Now I use this sometimes for getting into some of them tight little nooks and crannies and getting the mould lines off in little hard to reach areas, and also for correcting mistakes. Now in my sort of excitement of building this up, I started gluing some bits together and realised that I'd glued one of the pillar bits together which shouldn't have been glued together. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll just get the blade. I don't know if you can see, but there's still some of the blood on this blade, and just cut in where I've glued it in and sort of pry it open. At the time of doing this, it's quite late at night, and it was at that point where I think, right, I'll just do this last little bit and then I'll pack it away and go to bed. So I'm doing this last little bit, trying to patch up the mistake I've made, and I'm at the same time watching an old rerun of WWE Raw. I'm a big wrestling fan, if you don't know. So I was watching Raw, watching a bit of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and something caught my attention on the telly. And so while I'm cutting away on this bit, I glance up at the telly and the bit slips and the blade slams down and slices through the side of my left hand like a hot knife through butter. And instantly I knew something was wrong, because the second it went through, I mean, it didn't hurt because it was so clean, it went through so quick, so it just slammed right through my hand, but I felt something. My little finger just went completely numb straight away. I looked down and then blood just poured from this thing. There's still splatters of blood on a lot of my terrain, on the knife itself. I ran through to the kitchen, dripping blood. My missus had just gone to bed, so I'm screaming at her to come down, come down, come down. So she, wakes up wondering what the hell's going on, runs down to see me holding my hand over the sink, and the washing up bowl is just filled with blood. It's just filling up and it's pouring out. I'm not saying this for dramatic effect. There was a lot of blood. And I'm actually very scared at this point. I have cut myself before. Me and Stanley blades do not mix. I will not be using these again, because the last time I cut myself was when I was making my desert terrain. I sliced my finger open and that bled quite a bit, but that was just a normal cut, so it was, I wasn't too fussed about it. It was a pain in the butt, a pain in the hand, but this I knew was something more serious, and so my finger had just gone completely dead and numb, and I just knew I'd cut a nerve or done something, and so it ended up me having to go to A&E. We've got children, so my partner couldn't come with me. It was the middle of the night, so I had to get myself in the car, drive myself down there, using my right hand to change gears and drive really, probably not legally and unsafe to get to A&E. So I get there, and I am there till about 6 o'clock in the morning. So I spend the entire night at A&E, which in itself is not fun. Luckily, a lot of you guys out there, Idic Beer and other guys, I was put the post up on the Unification page, and people, well, a lot of overseas people that were on the page that were awake at that time were keeping me entertained with chat and stuff. And I was watching a lot of you guys, other YouTubers' videos and things with my earphones in, and so it kept me fairly amused. But yeah, it was a long, arduous wait. And you can imagine, this being a Friday night, and in my town there's quite a few pubs and nightclubs and things, and I'm getting there around kicking out time. So there's people in there, going there usually with, who have been bottled, who have been stabbed, been in fights, something a bit more exciting than me turning up and telling them, yes, I cut my hand building a model. It was a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, so expecting to go there and get stitched up, they've said, no, you need to go to the specialist hospital. And so they booked me an appointment there to go to the hand specialist hospital. And so I had to go there the next day, which would have been yesterday. And they informed me that, yeah, I've cut through one of the nerves completely, severed it, and potentially cut the tendon and cut the muscle. So pretty serious stuff, actually. So a little bit scary, actually. Yeah, it's not been a fun experience, the whole thing. So anyway, I headed back up there today, and to keep myself a little bit amused, took some pictures and recorded a bit of video along the way. So I will leave you now with that, and then come back to you in just a moment. So hiya guys, currently on the way to East Grinstead Hospital for the second time. Went in yesterday to have this assessed, and what they think I've done is, well, they know I've completely severed one of the nerves to my little finger, and they think I've possibly at least partially, sorry, that's sat nav, at least partially cut, continue on Arundel Road for 3 miles, quite you, cut one of the tendons as well, and the muscle, so it's yeah, it's fairly serious. Going up there today, they're going to open it up further and see exactly what I've done, and do corrective surgery and basically rewire the nerve and the tendon if need be. I'm pretty fucking nervous, actually, it has to say. And I haven't eaten anything this morning, so I've got to go in with an empty stomach. I've got to have an injection into my armpit to make my whole arm numb. I'll be awake while they're doing this. I'm actually hoping that they'll allow me to take some photos while I'm in there, because in a weird way, making this like vlog of the whole sorry incident, it's kind of giving me something to focus on and not sort of let the nerves overwhelm me, because it is only a minor operation, but it is pretty scary. It's a pain in the arse, because I've lost a day's work yesterday, losing a day's work today. The missus is losing a day's work. She's driving me up here for the second time. Thank you, baby. She doesn't want to be on camera. But yes, so I thought I'd make a little vlog about this. So I might film another little bit, maybe when we get to the hospital, and I'll take some pictures. And then hopefully, once I'm back at home and it's all patched up, I'll be back with you and fill you you in on the details. But yeah, anyway guys, I shall see you in a minute. Hey guys, so I am finally out. I've had the operation, and it was yeah, weird. The appointment was for 12 o'clock. I didn't actually get in there till, what time was it?
10 past 3.
10 past 3. So yeah, a lot of waiting around, getting really bored, falling asleep in the waiting room. But yeah, finally got in there, had the operation. They gave me a sedative because I was a bit nervous. So I do feel a little bit doped up right now. I'm just relieved it's all done. But I wanted to take pictures to show you guys. They did allow me to take a couple of pictures in there, but not of the actual surgery. I did actually watch it happen, and that is a surreal experience because my hand at the moment feels like a lead weight. It's just completely dead. I can't move my fingers, I can't feel them at all. But watching them, I'd see it literally sliced open, pulled apart, and I could see the surgeon pulling like the nerve and putting a little needle and thread through it and stitching it back together. So it was really weird. So yeah, it felt like I was visiting the Mad Doc. I was an orc getting a power claw fitted, and with the weight of my hand right now, it literally feels like I've got a power claw. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm all in a sling at the moment. In the end, it turned out I didn't cut the tendon, which was good news because that would have been much worse and much more serious. But I did completely sever the nerve, which they stitched up, and I cut the muscle a bit, so my little finger is weaker, so they've stitched the muscle and the nerve back together, and then stitched the wound back up. And I think I've got to go back in like a week to get it redressed and put some sort of cast or dressing on it, and then start doing some sort of physio hand exercises and stuff. So yeah, it's been quite an experience. So I would highly recommend anyone working, building models, converting, to stay away from Stanley blades. Or if you do need to use a Stanley blade, don't do what I did and be watching telly at the same time and allow yourself to get distracted. And probably don't do it late at night, like 12:30 at night, where you're getting a bit tired, and glance up at the telly while you're trying to cut two pieces together that you glued together by mistake, and you're trying to cut them apart, so the knife falls and slices through your other hand, because it's not just a cut, it can be quite serious. And like I say, I've already lost 2 days of work out of this. I'm hoping to go back.
Turn left onto Copthorne Road.
I'm hoping to go back to work tomorrow, but we'll see how I feel, because they said I'm likely to be in a lot of pain once the anaesthetic and that wears off. But yeah, there we go.
Turn left onto Copthorne Road, A264.
We're still in unfamiliar territory. We're driving back from East Grinstead Hospital now. It's about an hour and a half away from where we live.
Continue on A264 for 3 miles.
There we go, she should be quiet for a bit now. But yeah, guys, on those of you on the Unification page who have sent me good messages and support and sympathy, I appreciate that. And some of the jokes you guys have been cracking on there have cheered me up. And yeah, so I will see you in a bit. Basically, I'll edit this together. When I get back home, I'll carry on filming a bit more. I'll show you what I was actually working on that led to this incident in the first place, because I do have some quite exciting videos coming up. So anyway guys, see you in a bit. So hey you guys, welcome back. So yeah, as you can see, I had fun there. I did really want to get some pictures of the actual operation itself. I watched them do it, and it was a surreal experience. Like I said just then on the video, but you've seen in the car, it's just surreal. At the moment, my hand feels like just a lead weight. I can't feel it at all. It's numb. I can't move anything. That's going to wear off overnight tonight, and that's when the pain kicks in. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I've got a few pictures and things, as you've seen. It doesn't really do it justice though, because the wound was pretty nasty, and seeing your hand open and people stitching up your actual nerves and your muscles and stuff inside it was disgusting, but morbidly fascinating. But anyway guys, there's a message in this video. I will not be using these again. I will not. I was going to say possibly under certain circumstances and being very careful. But a message to you guys, if you are going to use these, do not get complacent. These are lethal, and your hands, especially for a hobbyist, is so important to you. And the fact that this could have been so much more serious if I had cut through that tendon, could have been really, really serious, and I could have lost the use of my finger. You know, there's not. It's just when you're working with blades and stuff, especially when we do this sort of thing all the time, it's so easy to get complacent and you know, try and watch telly and stuff at the same time. But when you're working with sharp objects and things, you have to be so careful. So if any good comes out of this at all, other than just me making a video out of it, would be that you guys out there maybe learn a little something from my mistake and do not end up like this and have the embarrassment of saying, yes, I was building Warhammer models and sliced my finger off or something. Because, you know, if it had slipped a bit higher, just an inch higher, it would have gone through the finger itself, and that doesn't bear thinking about actually. It has left me a little bit shaken up actually. Don't mean to sound dramatic about it, for what is a fairly minor injury, but it's not been a pleasant experience. And yeah, but anyway, like I said, it has resulted in some really cool looking terrain. This terrain is awesome. I absolutely love it. So I've got all the terrain built now. I'm going to select my Orc kill team soon. I've got Reroll Joe coming round soon. He's going to be playing 1,000 Suns just as a practice game to try it out. I intend to get my Orc kill team painted up. Hopefully Joe's going to get his 1,000 Suns painted up, and we'll get some games in and try it out. And yeah, but I will be doing a review of that very soon. Another cool thing about the kill team as well, I had no interest in having the Gene Stealer cult or the Mechanicus squads within the box, so I've actually sold them off. My brother is buying the Mechanicus stuff off me, and a good friend of mine is buying the Gene Stealer cult stuff off me, both of which have been wanting to get into the hobby but not wanting to take that plunge into full 40k and buying like full armies and codexes. And you know, it's an expensive hobby to get into. It's a big commitment, especially if you're not sure whether you're going to like it or not. So really cool thing about this, not only have I got a cool new game out of it and scenery and stuff, but potentially 2 new people to play against and get into the hobby, which is a massive win in my book. I'm really looking forward to getting into this kill team and playing it. But anyway guys, I will leave you with that, with me and my new Power Claw, and I will see you on the next one guys. This is 6+ Stevo signing out.